So a lot of people were telling me that Forza Horizon 3 was technically the last Forza game to really have a said progression feeling to it. And honestly, guys, for my first overall time on this game, I have to 100% agree, but I have to break down why. I really do think the progression of this game was honestly really good and something that a lot of racing games can also kind of benefit from. Now, as y'all do know, I have not played Forza Horizon 2 yet. I have not played 1. I do know for a fact Forza Horizon 1 is obviously probably number 1 up there when it comes to like a progression feeling. But honestly, my first impressions here on Forza Horizon 3, man, I like the way they have this design. And there's a lot of things to like about it. Number 1, when you guys do start out, you basically have one outpost. You have to do some events, you have to level up, and then you will end up unlocking another outpost. That will then be level 1. There'll be some races, some PR stunts and stuff like that. There'll be some bucket lists. Then once you do play and do some events and some PR stunts, you will then unlock another upgrade. You can then get more events unlocked at level 2 for that said festival site. You will then have more PR stunts, more things to do as well on top of it. And it kind of opens up that area that you are pretty much on the map. So, like, you guys won't have the entire map unlocked at first. You'll pretty much have one area. Or, like, you start in Byron Bay, then head over to the Outback area. Or you head over to the Surfer's Paradise City. Then later on, you could do the, I think it's like the Terra Valley or something like that as well. That's kind of like in the rainforest, like in the middle of where Byron Bay is, and also the Outback area. So you'll be able to have different areas. All places have different races that will then have class-based races, whether that's like a cult classic, off-roading, also 4x4. You'll then have like rally. You'll have like also S1, S2, super saloon, modern supercars and stuff like that. So each area has like different races you can do. And I really did enjoy that because when I was doing some of the areas, like for example in Byron Bay, I was going through there and doing some of the events that would allow me to use like a cult classic. I'm like, okay, this is pretty dope. I was enjoying that, and then I did end up unlocking like the Outback area. I would then start doing like a buggy race, which is something I also want to mention, by the way, guys. So when you do end up getting to that said area, now it's not every single one that will give you a free car, but some of them do. I was able to pick like a buggy that would then allow me to do those races. And some players are like, well, Block, the game's giving you a free car. And honestly, well, if you are progressing through it, we all do know, man, even in the older days of Need for Speed, those games even gave you free cars when you were progressing through the story, to where you can use that vehicle in different races and stuff to save yourself money and stuff. And one game I can name right off the bat there is Need for Speed Carbon. So anyone that's saying that, I'm kind of like, you might want to go play the old games there. But once you do end up getting that free car, you can then go do those races and hopefully unlock more races, get more money, stack stuff, get wheel spins and all that, which I was actually a pretty big fan of the wheel spins. And also, guys, I have to admit something. The wheel spins have been awful for me in this game. What I mean by that is RNG, man. They have been pretty bad. Like, I have gotten a few cars out of them, but most of the time I get like 5, 10 grand. Sometimes I was getting $2,000 pretty often on some of them, and I was like, okay, that's not going to be very helpful. But again, the overall progression standpoint, I'm like, no, no, this is fine. Let me keep playing. Let me keep unlocking stuff like that. I was kind of okay with it because I did notice later on I'd probably end up, probably getting better items and stuff like that. But through progressing and getting bigger and more upgrades in each of these said festival sites, a lot of them would then offer you vehicles for a sale that you could use that you'd most likely need to do these said races in that actual upgraded one. So if you would like level 3, then you hit 4, you might end up needing a different off-road vehicle to do those events. The game would then offer you one at a sale price, which I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. So again, you're working your way up into the game. You're not just going to start with like a supercar and do every single event. You pretty much had to use some of these slower cars to then level up and get other cars, which are not all that quick. And you're probably like me and you probably don't have a ton of money, so you do some upgrades to it, leave it at a certain part of like a high B level or maybe like an A level or something like that. And then you start doing the races, increasing your difficulty, making more money, getting wheel spins, doing some of the side activities and stuff like that. And it's something I really did enjoy a lot, guys, because after playing through Forza Horizon 5 a good amount and also playing through Forza Horizon 4, I can definitely see like the similarities of like the overall design of how those games were, on how they kind of just put you in there. You can kind of get everything unlocked very quick, and there really wasn't like a huge sense of progression. At least I would notice that a lot more after playing them, and many players have also said that. And I've also noticed a lot of people talking about Forza Horizon 3, saying this was the last game in this series that really had that sense of progression, man. And to be honest, guys, I'm gonna be real. I've been kind of locked into this game because of this, if I'm being 100%. I really do like the fact that even going through and getting like the skill shop thing, we'll have like the instant rewards, the skills, and also the festival boss and all that. You can unlock different things, get XP. You also then end up getting yourself some wheel spins and stuff like that, which if you were like me, you might end up getting a lot of nothing from those, which is kind of hilarious. I'm like, oh, look, a wheel spin. I would then get $5,000. Other times I might get a vehicle or something, which I've gotten some good cars that did end up helping me. But then I'm like, you know what? This is fine because I could go do races, unlock other things, and hopefully level up and all that. And I really do like the way they did the skill shop thing, guys. Honestly, I kind of hope the new Forza does something similar to where, you know, each car does have like unlocked trees, but there's also like main unlocked trees you can do and stuff like that similar to this game, whether it's special things of like money boosts or XP boosts and stuff like that, you know, from getting skill points from playing the game and leveling up that way. I do think that's a good way to progress. It adds like more things you can unlock and gives you like a sense of, okay, well, if I do this, I will then get that and stuff. It's not like, oh, here you go, by the way, bud. Here's, you know, $10 million. Here's some supercars. Have a good time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something that would also probably work if they were to have like a initial like universal type of thing like the skill thing in this game. And with that being said, I did talk about this before, guys, but one thing I loved is how when you were progressing through the game and going through like the festival sites, they then give you like a free car that you can use and level up and stuff, which is funny because you might end up having to need one of those vehicles for the races, which I notice in every scenario. A lot of the cars they'd offer free to you, you probably need that somewhere in order to, you know, go through the new races and level up. I did end up getting one unlocked, and I was like, oh, I need a modern supercar in this one, but I didn't have it because I needed to go level up the other Horizon Festival. Once I got that one, I then get a free supercar, a modern supercar, which I thought was very cool. People are like, oh, look, Block, it gave you a free supercar, and well, the funny part is, guys, in order to get the free supercar, I had to hit 2 million festival, like, follower fan things in order to get that, so I had to play through the game a good amount in order to get that supercar. Like, the game wasn't handing them to you. Could you get really lucky from a wheel spin? From the wheel spins I have gotten so far, I haven't even seen a supercar in one of them. I'm sure they're probably in there, but I was noticing in, like, Forza Horizon 4 and 5 that, yes, you could literally like do a wheel spin like 10 minutes into the game and yeah, you probably would get a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, but in this game, guys, I have noticed it doesn't really seem to be the case, and I actually really like that. Maybe they can have the wheel spins designed to, maybe it's based on like a higher level once you get like above 60 or 70 or something, or you're farther into the game. Maybe they could do it that way to where you would end up getting better items from it. Like it won't give you a supercar in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can have it similar to Forza Horizon 3 where there's other cars you might end up needing or like lower leveled vehicles until you climb up and get farther into the game and then boom, oh look, I'm now seeing Lamborghinis in my entire, you know, wheel spin thing. I think that would be kind of dope, and it made me think about that a bit when I was playing this game, because not only would you probably not want to get all those cars right away, because to be honest, guys, playing through Forza Horizon 3 and having absolutely nothing, having to go through and do like the PR stunts and stuff like that and try to get more fans and level up that way, eventually get more XP and stuff like that to get like another wheel spin to then unlock the other festival, then I can get more events unlocked, I can then go get another vehicle. It felt really good to have to start from like nothing like that and actually get the cars unlocked and feel like you are climbing the ladder in the game and you're not just given like everything right off the bat, which honestly people might argue and be like, where's my supercars? With the way the whole, you know, instant gratification is nowadays with basically everything, I feel like having a game like this, and I have not played 2 and 1 yet, so I'm sure from what I have heard the progression in those games are also very good. It really makes you wonder, though, like, could people actually handle a slower paced game like Forza Horizon 3 to where you're not going to have everything right away? It'll probably take you a little while to get some of these things unlocked. And you know what? It's so much more fun that way, dude. And a few other things I noticed, like, yes, you can obviously get cars from the wheel spins, and sometimes you end up leveling up some of the festival sites. You can get, like, a vehicle, like a discounted price. I then did end up noticing that sometimes you could probably get that car out of a wheel spin or something in that class, so that way you don't even have to spend your money on one of those vehicles. Instead, if you were to get, like, a car that would end up being useful out of a wheel spin, you could put a bunch of money into it. Like, one car, I put, like, $50,000 into it to build it, like, engine swap it, all kinds of upgrades. Other times, you might end up going going, okay, well, I want this car after leveling up my festival site here. You could get that, put some upgrades into it. Either way really does seem to help. One thing I also really like, guys, when you were going through the game and stuff like that, you'd also notice when leveling up the festival, a lot of new races and different things would appear every time you rank that thing up. What I did notice, I think they all go to level 5 from what I have noticed. I think I have one at 4. I'm kind of leveling up each one slowly after that every time I have the chance to do so. I really like the fact that when you were leveling those up, though, a bunch of other events would pop up and go, boom, oh look, more events, more stunts, also more of the bucket list events, which I had a really good time doing these, guys. One of the ones I had to do was in a Ferrari. Honestly, this one was actually pretty difficult, man. They will tell you, like, if it's hard, easy, or medium. And I can definitely see so far that the harder ones, the name fits them, all right? You'll definitely probably have to redo them, find some cuts, figure out the best route, and that will be the best way to do those. But it was also fun because it was like a mix-up, driving different cars you might not own, almost like a test drive type of thing to me, to where, oh, look, I like this vehicle. I might have to pick this thing up, and it kind of mixes that up. You'll get more of these unlocked again once you end up leveling up the festival site. So more stunt events, more races. We even start to unlock the championships and stuff like that. So it really has such a great mix of overall progression in this game that honestly I really do hope to see in Forza Horizon 6, and something I think most racing games really can benefit from. I love the fact that when you're starting lower like that, you'll then have to use slower cars, you'll then have to do the races, unlock, get better vehicles. The game will actually help you, give you like a chance to buy a cheaper car that you will need for the other events that you can then use on that and stuff. And sometimes you can get like a wheel spin that might end up helping you get like a car or something like that, to where you don't have to buy another one. You can use upgrades in it. You'll have the skill tree you can do in it. It really just all mixes together, man. So far, though, I love the way this game is structured, and I hope Forza Horizon 6 also does it, because I am absolutely loving the way this game is designed. And honestly, I can't wait to see how Forza Horizon 1 and 2 is after playing this one.